Welcome to Seeress, or if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. My name is Tia. Ooh. Got cards already flying around. Discontent and boredom. Somebody's feeling a little discontent and bored. Okay, so I always like to open with a prayer. I say, Most High God, Most High God, Most High God. But God fights my battles. God fights my battles. No weapon formed in the spirit or in the physical shall prosper. I am highly, 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 highly protected, as are my viewers, and divinely, divinely, divinely favored. And we just call on the Most High God to put his holy angels charge over us, charge over this space. We call on Archangel Michael to deploy his warring and ministering angels. No witchcraft, no voodoo, no hoodoo, no familiar spirits, no seducing spirits, no trickster spirits, no jinn, no demons can enter this space, no fallen angels, only the holy angels of the Most High God. Whose God is that? God of Abraham, Joseph, Isaac. We call on Archangel Gabriel to help me to receive, interpret, and articulate these messages in the way that the Most High God deems to be the most appropriate. We call on Archangel Raphael to help support us in our spiritual healing work that we're doing here today. Call on Archangel Uriel to support us to sharpen our intuition and our discernment. We call on our guardian angels for their protection, their wisdom, their guidance, and their messages. We call on our ancestors who are of the Most High God, who've received Jesus Christ into their hearts, who've come in peace and love, and we call on you for your messages, your protection, your wisdom, and your guidance. We call on the Holy Spirit and let the Holy Truth be shined through these messages. And we just ask that any viewer be blessed by these messages, sharpen their own intuition, their own psychic gifts, their own spiritual gifts, get some confirmation or clarity, at the very least some entertainment, and we ask these things in Jesus' holy name. Amen. All right. So I like to cut the deck, and when I do that with my left hand. And the reason why I do it with my left hand is because God gives us two hands, one to give and one to receive. My left hand is my more receptive or passive hand, connected to the right side of my brain. And that's why I like to do that. Because we're asking for a message. Oh man. I almost thought this was the same card. Yeah, I was just kind of called to use the John Holland Psychic Oracle today. Make you mine, they say. Well, somebody's bored and discontent, and they want to make you mine. They want to make you theirs. So maybe this person has been really focused, or you have been focused on foundation and achievements. So in the traditional tarot with this would be like, whoa, the 10 of Cups. Yeah, the 10 of Cups is like the happy wife, the happy life, the kids, the house, the dogs, blah, blah, blah. But it's more of an emotional wish fulfillment than like money and stuff. tell. I don't know. Somebody was focused on their foundation, their achievements, their stability, and they were just in emotional withdrawal. Or maybe that was you. Maybe you had to be kind of in emotional withdrawal. So because you know, sometimes we're just in times in our lives like that where we just really have to be focused on our money, our career, our foundation, right? Okay. But they do want to make you mine. They want to make you theirs. Because this person or you are really intuitive, you're really psychic. Like their third eye is open, their third eye is opening, or is open, or yours, or both, I think. And so they've had to, I mean, they could see it in the spirit, you know, they could tell, you could tell, but there's having to be, they can tell there has to be patience and planning to walk through this portal right here and make you mine. Yeah. Okay. Oh, also viewer, I'm not offering personal readings right now. So these are just general collective messages. So make sure that, you know, you're only taking what resonates with you. Don't force anything to fit. And always, always, always check the spirit behind every message that you receive, right? Including mine. I mean, sometimes it's just not your message, and that's okay. But if you like watching these for just entertainment, that's absolutely welcome. Just make sure you don't get yourself confused. I mean, there's so many amazing readers on YouTube. Dancing in a Dream. This title of the song here. Yeah, it's like a dream. Anyway, sometimes they're tapping into different timelines than me. Or sometimes, you know, just check back in a few days. I know I haven't been putting up very many this week, but that's because for a lot of you who don't know, I've just been, I'm working on, I'm still in school working on my doctorate degree. And oh man, talk about heads down. Sometimes too, I like to take a little bit of a break because I want the energy to kind of shift. It feels repetitive after a while. Yeah, this person has a lot of memories of love for you, and they didn't get their wishes fulfilled. They feel it's like you were like a dream. It was like dancing in a dream, and they have a lot of memories of love. They hold a candle for you. A lot of emotion. When they think of you, it's loving. They have a lot of memories of love and of not getting, you know, there was no wish fulfillment here. So like you're the one that got away. It's kind of why they romance it, like it was a dream. Yeah, it's a waiting game. Because they were kind of in the dark. It's a waiting game. They have to come to the light. They weren't seeing the light. They were just playing this, yeah, like the ellipsis keeps going around and around. I don't know why I was called to this deck today, but boy, it's giving us a lot of information, right? This person relies a lot on partnerships and alliances. You know, to create and stuff. My soul. They don't have a lot of spiritual strength. Spiritual strength in reverse. Maybe you like spiritually outrank this person. This person might even have been in a partnership with someone and they didn't have a lot of spiritual strength. So maybe they let, you know, like the opinions and ideas of other people, even partners, and maybe even kind of going along with like mainstream narratives and stuff like that. They didn't have a lot of spiritual strength, but see how it's green? It's because they have, both of these cards have a lot of green in them, and green can be like, you know, healing. Can also have to do with money. Like this person relies on partnerships and alliances for some type of balance, some type of healing, for confidence and healing and creation and stuff. Or maybe even money. Yeah, they're kind of reaching outside of themselves to like other people and like networks and stuff like that. And they're not like leaning into their spirit team, you know, for healing and, you know, the material things they need and stuff. Well, the good news is there's going to be movement and choices and decisions being made. You know, like what door do you step through? See how this is? Like there's different paths, different doors. This always reminds me too of like the way the artist did this is like when I don't know if you saw that movie, but it was kind of like, it's talking about like when Anubis comes, like in like the ancient Egyptian spirituality, when Anubis comes after someone dies and goes and like weighs their soul and stuff. And you have to pick your door. You have to pick what world you're going into. And that can be true in our waking world too, even before we pass or whatever. Like we have to choose which door we're walking through and what path, what world we're going into. Because there's going to be a lot of temptation. And this in the traditional tarot would be the devil, right? Like there's an enemy here, guys. I know people don't like to hear about that one, but when it comes to what door you're going to go through, what path you're going to go on, what world we're going to step into here. Somebody's name might be Kiki. I had a gorgeous tortoiseshell cat named Kiki. I loved her so much. She was so beautiful, so amazing. She used to sleep on the top of my head on my pillow. Yeah, there's an enemy here. There's that wants to interfere with or temptation, it says at the bottom, you know, you to kind of throw you off your path, throw this person off their path, right? And get you to walk through the wrong door into a dark situation. Back here we saw it was a waiting game because this person had not come to the light. Okay, so this person was like, might have gotten tempted and stepped through the wrong door. And so it became a waiting game because they had to, like this right here, like this right here. Where'd it go? See how there's like ellipses that go around? They had to cycle back around, so that's why you had to wait. Because they fell into temptation. They went down the wrong, something to do with Kiki. Okay. Yeah, they were tempted by a third party. This would, in the traditional tarot, would be 3 cups. I know it can be celebration and blah, 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 but in this case, right on the other side of a temptation, they went down the wrong path is what they did. Because they were working with partners and alliances, and they just were not spiritually strong. They were not walking in the light. And they got tempted by a third party. Do you see that? They got tempted by a third party. Kept you waiting. And you're just being called to rest and rejuvenate. You know, go out, get out in nature. I did that just today. Get out in nature, meditation, going within. Like healing. You know, the screen too in this card. I hate that shadow. I'm sorry, you guys. Gotta work on the lighting. I'm working on the camera, the audio. Now it's the lighting. Okay. It takes a while. You know, trying to figure everything out. And YouTube on top of it. On that note, don't get scammed, you guys. I won't ever reach out to any of you. I mean, I know I say it all the time, but it's like every time I stop, something happens. I don't charge any money for any services on this channel. So if anybody asks you for money or says, asks you if you want to buy a reading or anything like that, that's not me. In fact, if you see or hear me on any other channel, any other platform, that's not me either. That is pirated content and or audio. Just report them and ignore them. I don't promote manifestation books. I mean, the list goes on and on. I don't have WhatsApp. I don't have Telegram. I don't use text apps. You're supposed to be meditating and rejuvenating. Man, I wish I could still, you know, I haven't had time. I used to, like, I miss it, really. I really do. Like, for like 2 hours, you know. But this is also like working out, you guys. I mean, it's like it takes forever to get to where you can really fall into that state. You know, that really sweet state where you're like getting channeled messages and stuff like that. And sometimes you get them anyway. But I'm saying, like, and it can take a while to work up to that. And then just like working out, you know, you fall off for a little while. It's like you lose that, you know how like you lose fitness really fast, even though you worked really hard to build up muscle and stamina and endurance and stuff. And it's like you work really hard for a really long time and you don't even you like backslide because maybe something pops off in your life or something, like someone dies or something happens and like everything gets derailed, like everything gets put on hold no matter what, you know. And I'm just thinking in my mind, I feel like everything that comes up in a reading is meaningful to somebody, so I try to say it. But I live close to Portland, Oregon, and there's a huge homeless population out there, and I was just thinking about this guy on my Facebook. I used to work with him actually, and he never likes my videos or anything. He's just an ex-coworker or whatever. But he puts this thing up because he was going for his walk. Why he was walking down there, I don't know, because I used to go to a business I had to go to, but it's down in this area that used to be a decent area, but now it's like totally engulfed with homeless people or whatever, which is fine, except for it's kind of dangerous down there. I wouldn't just be walking around like that. But anyway, what was crossing my mind is when I was talking about working out and stuff and how it takes so long to build up and it doesn't take much to like, and you're like starting all over again, right? Well, that can be true with meditation too, is what I was trying to say. But he's walking around down there. He starts filming it because like the homeless people had a whole like gym set up in there. And he says, excuse my language, but he goes, these motherfuckers just don't miss. I don't know why I was thinking about that. He's so funny. But like, yeah, like some people really are like homeless and they make the best of their life regardless. They're still working out. They're still lifting weights. I mean, you know what I mean? That's sometimes what we have to do and is really, this is really talking about really deep self-care. You know, like, yeah, get out in nature. Just listen to the birds, the leaves, the wind. You know what I mean? Decompress. Yeah. So that you know the truth. Yeah, because the answers, believe it or not, really are. Like that inner voice is connected to the Most High, in my opinion, you know? Yeah, because you know the truth. So that you can know the truth, you'll know the truth. You keep going inside like that, going within like that, connecting with nature and stuff, you'll see the truth. You'll know the truth. And this throat chakra blockage, you'll know the truth even if somebody doesn't tell you, if you don't say anything, you'll know the truth. Yeah, you just stay in solitude and learning, getting into like ancient wisdom. Working on your base chakra. Okay. Yeah, working on your feeling secure in yourself, in your own, building a secure foundation in solitude. Okay, so we're already at 22. So I'm gonna pull a couple from the Biblical Tarot. Oh, if you're getting something on this message, why don't you please hit the like button? It helps so much. If you haven't already subscribed, would you please consider it? I am trying to grow my channel. Any support for the channel is so appreciated to all of you. To my new subscribers, welcome. I normally post more than this. Things have just been really busy and crazy. Hit the like button, drop me comments. I love hearing from you guys. Yeah, it just helps to get the videos out into people's feeds, get around, you know. If you could do that for me, I would be so blessed. Thank you so much. The title of this song is In My Room. It's kind of weird looking because like the picture is like the whole head is like static, like it would be like if, yeah, like when the TV's offline and it's like snow or what do they call that, an ant farm or whatever like that. It's the whole head is like that. And then it's just like a cutout. They look like sunglasses, but it's a cutout of the person's eyes. So like, in my room, like their heads are like offline. Their eyes are open, but there's just static and snow inside there. I mean, like they're not connected. There's no signal. There you go. Yeah, eyes are open, but there's no signal. in your room. Wow, it's like getting out of control there. Oh, there's been an injustice, viewer. But not ye to worry, the sun. After this injustice comes the sun. Okay. Yeah, in my mind, this so something was. There was no signal in their mind. There was no signal connecting in this person's mind. Well, obviously, right? It's gonna fall for temptation for a third party. Yeah, that's why they have memories of love of you. They're like, what did I do? Yeah, injustice, unfairness, dishonesty, imbalance, avoidance of accountability, legal complications, and karmic debt. Well, after this injustice, viewer, something dishonest, something bad, something karmic, something unfair happened. There's going to be, the sun. The sun is the happiest card in the tarot, So this is good news. There's going to be celebration and joy, optimism and positivity, achievement and recognition, new beginnings, enlightenment, humility, and simplicity. Well, and the sun's good for you. All that vitamin D. Get outside while we have it, because, shoot, I hear there's going to be a huge winter storm back east. So, I'm going to clarify these with the situations. Oracle deck. A lot of this is a lot of mental energy, like this whole reading. There's a lot of mental, there's a lot of mentals in there's a lot of, mental energy here that we're talking about. Yeah, it's very cerebral. And a lot of emotions, a lot of water, and there was a lot of green, a lot of healing that either needs to take place or is taking place. A lot of stuff about foundations and achievements. You got a lot going on here, viewer. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. There is no gender in energy reading. Since energy is fluid, it's only energy. Because it's fluid like that too, it can be past, present, and future, right? But I always set the intention that whenever you click on this video, this says echo, just as I'm talking about this. Yeah, it could be something. This could be something from a past life, actually. It could could be an echo from, or something circling back, like those ellipses we saw, something circling back again, because after an injustice, out comes the sun. This like might have been, this situation might have been like an echo from a past life, or even this life, but it just it's happening, it's coming back around. Because this could be a soulmate. Yeah, or soulmates don't have to be romantic, though. It can be somebody that's just really similar to you, that, you know, you have a really amazing friendship with, or it could be like, you know, a romantic partner, which that's the funnest ones when we have those, right? Echo, though, it could be, it has something to do with this injustice. But soulmates can also be family members. Remember, it said partnerships and alliances. You know, because those are not like a kingdom connection or a twin flame or something like that. Like soulmates can be anyone you have a really soul bond with, right? And it could be an echo from a past life that, yeah, maybe this was an injustice. I keep talking about past lives, and there's nothing on the table here that's saying that. So, maybe this person did you wrong in a past life too, created an injustice with your soulmate, this third party or something. Somebody's name might be Jordan. Somebody's name might be Felix. Maybe somebody likes Felix the cat. Somebody's name might be Sophie, Elsie, Ellis. Be ready for your love, it says the title of the song. Be ready for your love. Or excuse me, it says ready for your love. This person's ready for your love now. Only take what resonates. Always, always, always check the spirit behind every message you receive, including mine. This person thinks they're ready for your love now. The soulmate that created injustice. They're probably different for all different people. Yeah, the sun's coming out, projected within, I mean, it says in the future, days, weeks, or months. Yeah, but it's pretty close. The sun will come out tomorrow. You bet your bottom dollar. Right? Was that Annie? Oh, I loved that movie when I was little. Orphan Annie. Yeah, the sun's coming out soon. You can expect it within some reasonable range, you know, like, I mean, maybe months, but it's not going to be, yeah, and, you know, you're going to be getting some witches, I almost said witches. Some witches. That was weird. We rebuke that in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Maybe these people were witches. Vera. The sun's coming out. You're going to be celebrating and getting your wishes fulfilled. And this isn't going to be too unreasonable. It's in like maybe months, days, weeks, like that. In the near future, you're going to see your wishes, your hopes, the things you've been praying for and yearning for. And this is like a little baby Buddha. Okay. You're going to be all zen. We're seeing you're going to be, you know, connecting with nature and working on your meditation practices and stuff. You're going to be trashing the Hamster wheel, it says. You're going to be discarding the hamster wheel. Yeah, you're going to be swimming in the deep end, babe. I don't know, yikes, what that means. But you're ready for that. You're ready. You're trained up and you're ready for the deep end. Are you running and avoiding the deep end? Or is someone else running and avoiding the deep end? Yeah, they were running and avoiding because they desire and have lust and sexual chemistry. That scares them, I guess. They were running from that. The desire they had, the lust, the chemistry. Who is it that was doing that? This guy right here. Twin flame. Yeah, it's, you know, the one, I mean, whether you believe in twin flames or not, I know that title's really tough, you know. But it's like, you know, the mirrored soul, the one that you pledged yourself to in heavens before you know. There's a soul. This came right out like that. That was weird. Yeah, this masculine, there's this masculine that's in despair. The divine masculine's in despair. They've been in despair about this pathway. This, or your pathway opening up. Somebody might be 32 years old. Somebody might be 35. That's maybe how they're going off the deep end, this twin flame. Maybe because this injustice that this soulmate, this past life soulmate created or whatever. Because the universe is always going to balance everything out. If an injustice was created, then it's going to circle back around, and the universe is going to create balance again. And this is Jesus Christ right here. So you got some Jesus on that situation, and so in a very short time, you're going to start seeing your hopes, your things you've been praying for and yearning for coming. And someone, you know, because someone was running and avoiding, you know, desire, lust, and sexual chemistry. They fell into lust and sexual chemistry. Okay, so it's just saying that this twin probably turned karmic. It's like a fallen twin. Right, because back there, remember, we already seen that. Yeah, that's what created the injustice. Yeah, because they fell into the temptation of lust and sexual chemistry and stuff. So your twin is fallen, right? They turned karmic. They kind of demoted themselves. And they are now in despair. Like I said, this is a masculine in this card, but there's no gender and energy reading. So, I mean, because a divine masculine can still be in an absolute female body. It's just energy, you know. It says fall again. Yeah. So maybe they did this in a past life, like I was talking about, which was kind of weird, but created an injustice with maybe one of their other soulmates or something that they had lust and desire for. And they fell again. And so they're in despair because they're not in alignment to their most high path, their most high timeline, their highest pathway. They're in despair that maybe that pathway has closed for them. Yeah. They fell again. that one want to come out or not? Yeah. This person, okay, so maybe it says poverty. Maybe you were really struggling and didn't really have very much or anything. And this person kind of looked down on you. This could have been when you were 37. They kind of looked down on you like you were lesser than them or something. Like you maybe didn't have as much. But you've been out here working at your career, your occupation. You've been working hard. And you're going to have, in the future, you are going to, this is kind of like a little bit of a rags to riches type spread here. Like maybe you started out with nothing and they kind of look down on you. Yep, confirmation. I mean, really, that's kind of a little bit of a red flag. Like, okay, so now I have something and you'd want to, no, that's, because that kind of is like you might kind of see that as like a massive red flag. Because your priorities might not be the same. Like they said, they rely a lot on like what others think and stuff. Like, there's ebbs and flows and stuff like that. And maybe you were just having a hard time, or I don't know. So this is kind of interesting. It says family room and adjudication. So whatever was going on in the private of somebody's home, because the family room to me is like where you watch movies, the piece of the flood. Yes, something's getting completely destroyed because something was so toxic, so wicked, so evil, it had to be completely washed away. Whatever was going on in this family room, in the privacy of this home, because that's where you watch movies with people. You have private conversations. The dogs are there, the popcorn, you know what I mean? It's like a family time, like when you just watching TV or, like that. Having private conversations though. The privacy, this is the private part, because the living room would be where like you have guests and like people, like business acquaintances and stuff like that. This would be like your personal friends and family, So whatever was happening in the privacy of this home is getting adjudicated. I mean, maybe if you know what this is about, viewer, you click like. Whatever was happening in the privacy of this home is getting torn down, maybe in a courtroom. It's getting demolished in a courtroom. And it looks like that judge is really unhappy with this female over here. Something about whatever happened in the privacy of this home, in the family room, in the family home, is getting, there's some type of adjudication happening in the courts. This could be a spiritual courts too. It doesn't have to be the 3D court, but yeah, sometimes things are so bad, just like, in times of Noah, had to completely cleanse the earth, wash away, because the earth itself was crying out for justice, and you had injustice here, because the earth, and finally God. And the giants turned on each other. The different tribes of giants turned on each other. And Raphael and Michael had to come, and Uriel Uriel came to Noah and told him, you better build a ship. Buddy, you better build a ship. Oh, because there was a woman who was actually not a privileged lady. And there was a wealthy man that was not. There was two karmics pretending that they were privileged and wealthy, but they weren't. And now they're in court. Yeah, getting. What is this? There's going to be a change here, viewer. So, in the traditional tarot, this would be the Chariot. There's going to be a change for an immature man. In something that's close, someone close to you was, this man was thinking about this woman here. And like I said, there's no gender in energy reading, so you switch the roles or whatever. But I'm just saying that because in this card, in the picture, there's a man that has thoughts of this, and I see like paintbrushes. So this person might be an artist. You might be like their muse or whatever. They were thinking of you. And they didn't want to be distant from you anymore. They wanted to be closer. They wanted to get closer to you. Maybe you're like their muse or something. See how it's journey, this distance, this journey in reverse. They were thinking of you creatively or whatever, and they didn't want to be distant from you. Okay, let's close this out. We're almost at an hour. One last message, Holy Spirit. What does the viewer need to know the most before we close this out? Something's going on because this female right here is about to get a message of concern. This is 14, maybe 14 days. Maybe 2 full weeks. There's going to be a message of concern from a courthouse. You see that? From a courthouse. All right. Well, I just want to say thank you to the Most High God. Thank you for all of your messages. And thank you to Archangel Michael for having your warring and ministering angels stand guard over this space while we interpret these messages and read this energy. I just want to say thank you to Archangel Raphael for supporting us while we do our spiritual healing work, and we're closing the reading now. Thank you to Archangel Uriel for supporting us while we sharpen our own spiritual gifts and our intuition and our discernment. And we're closing the reading now. You want to say thank you to Archangel Gabriel for helping me to receive, interpret, and articulate and deliver the messages in the way that the Most High God deems to be the most appropriate. We're so, so grateful and thankful. We're closing the reading now. We want to say thank you to our guardian angels for your protection. Now, we don't want to release you, but we do want to let you know that we're closing the reading now. want to say thank you to our ancestors who are of the Most High God, who've accepted Jesus Christ into their hearts, who come in peace and love. This song, the title of the song is Don't Lie. No, somebody wasn't telling the truth. Created an injustice. But that's getting balanced out because Jesus is on the scene. But to our ancestors, we're just so grateful. We respect and love you so much. We're so grateful for your protection, your wisdom, your guidance, and your messages. And we're closing the reading now. We want to say thank you to the Holy Spirit for shining your truth onto these messages. And, we just respect and love you so much. And we are closing the reading now. We just want to, set the intention that the viewer gets something positive and good for their healing, their spiritual growth, or at least confirmation, at the very least, entertainment. We ask these things in Jesus' holy name. Amen. All right, viewer. Well, I hope you got something out of the message. If you did, please hit the like button. You need to be double tapping. And that just helps me out so much. It helps the channel so much. It really does. We're a little sage on this. And energy got a little heavy at the end, huh? You'll have to let me know if those things are connected. Drop me a comment. I love that. If you don't like talking on public platforms, I totally get it. In the information tab is my official contact information, and my email's up there. If you ever want to tell me your story and you don't want to put it, believe me, I get it. There's so many creepers out there now. I don't ever reach out to any viewer or anything like that. So if somebody's reaching out to you, that's not me. Do not engage. I am not offering personal readings right now. I don't charge any money for any services. I'm not promoting any products. I don't do WhatsApp, Telegram, apps, or anything like that. I know, it's like the Wild West now. But I don't want you getting scammed or anything. Well, I appreciate you so much. Until next time, be so blessed, my friends.